I don't think I'll ever get my shit together. Everywhere else that I had ever been, there was always some need to like conform. At least I find that the more I just do my shit the way I want to do it, the more people gravitate towards me. My ultimate goal is to put, what I would call classical music, contemporary classical music, into a place where it has, a significant cultural impact on what happens in American culture. And yeah, that's my goal. I'm Johan Lenox. I'm from Winchester, Massachusetts, and I'm in Los Angeles, California now. I'm a singer, music producer, artist, composer, string arranger. Yeah. 3 words. I don't know. I guess I'm like pretty emotional. I don't know that. I feel like I don't really show that very often, but I definitely like respond to stuff on a very like emotional level. On the other hand, I feel like I'm really analytical too. Like I'd really like to. I like thinking about how different people perceive things differently. Like people will say something is like black and white one way, and then just I like to put them in a room with someone who just like whose worldview is completely incompatible with that on whatever it is, and just be like, I'd like to just be aware that how it's all relative, I guess. And then just fucking weird. How's that? I just different. I guess I don't try to be. I'm just I have certain interests I'm like obsessed with that are really unusual, I guess. And then I work really really hard, but then I also like randomly just like go to Six Flags for the day. And it's just, I don't know. I just got a weird way of approaching life, I guess. I feel like I know people think of me as this guy who's like done a lot of cool shit on some of their favorite artists' work. And I'm trying to get them to see me as someone who makes great songs. I think that's been like part of why it's been tricky for me to figure out where I fit into like the industry as an artist. And I think it's like coming together, but it's, it's a grind, and people want to be able to just elevate or pitch who you are. And I think that is like an important part of the job, but I really need people around me to help me do it. Like I don't know how people see me really. Pop music and just music in general is like a conversation. Culture is a conversation. Like in my brief period of working with Kanye, like seeing how he used my string arrangements on like the Tiana Taylor album and the Nas album that we worked on, like inspired me to make that stuff a bigger part of the records I was working on. Don't know what it means, and I wake up feeling nauseous, thinking I'm the one that's toxic, thanking God that I ain't lost you. No one wants to go out like they did before. No one wants to kick it like they did before. They'll be getting married till they get divorced, and I'll be waking up here on the bathroom floor. I mean, I try to make it. It's hard to describe your own music. I think sometimes I do something that I think is going to come off a certain way and comes off a really different way, and I don't have like a good handle sometimes on what it's going to be, I guess. But monumental is a word I try to keep in mind, of just like production. And there's a lot of music right now that's very like chill or fun or light, and I'm much more interested in these like massive, slower, like just again like monumental kind of sounds, and I'm pushing that more, I think, with everything that I'm doing. So yeah, what do you want to be when you grow up? It's an album. I try to match sort of these monumental, like structural pillars with just like a lot of like lush string textures and vocal harmonies as sort of the instrumental backing, and kind of putting it into this like monumental sort of visionary piece with hopefully some like poignant and maybe some funny takes on what it's like to be young in America right now. Hopefully encapsulates how I'm feeling right now and about the world I'm in and what I'm trying to do with my life, and maybe it will for you too.